Right, the country, Rwanda, is inching closer and even closest to its first of its kind general election, where the presidential vote and the parliamentary vote will be taking place on the same day. This is a first on this particular nation. And of course, as the country gears towards this particular major civic exercise, we right here at East Africa Media Group are here to also keep you as informed as we can. And of course, bring the conversations with those who actually matter as far as these preparations are concerned. Who best to join us right here? But of course, as always, my name is Eugene Dangwe. We are joined by the person who many would like to say the lady of the moment. She's the chairperson of the National Electoral Commission of Rwanda. I know she works with a team and she might want to be modest and say, I'm not the lady of the moment, I have a team. Thank you so much, Madam Oda, for making time and speaking to us right here on East Africa Media Group. A lot has been going on, and I know right here at the National Electoral Commission, it's been a beehive of activities, in, out, collecting those who want to vie. Of course, you've gone through that particular exercise. You released the preliminary list of those who would be able to, put their candidature, and eventually the final list, sieving through those who probably had not met what is required. But talk to us about the other milestones that this electoral process of July 15 has been able to achieve so far.
Thank you so much, Anangwe. Thank you for visiting the National Electoral Commission. We are ready to go. In the preparation process, as far as you know, two major mandates of National Electoral Commission is organizing and conducting elections, and of course voter education. They're very important activities we conduct as we are closer to, as we start preparation of the election at that particular moment. And more importantly, in these 2024 elections, as you mentioned, it is the first time Rwanda is going to be having synchronized elections of the President of the Republic and the members of Parliament. It's a new test we are going through as the National Electoral Commission, but we are happy to report that everything is set now. The first thing we started with, of course, as a country which goes with legal or rules, we started with reviewing the Constitution. Of course, we proposed, because of the merging of the two elections, we had to change some of the articles in the Constitution, and it went through the normal process. And of course, we got an opportunity to talk to the stakeholders on this initiative. And they were happy for this, and I think this has been in discussion either in the government, the citizens themselves, the stakeholders, even the candidates, but also the observers and all the stakeholders in place. We are happy that it is going to serve a lot of purposes, including the budget, the time, and of course, as usual, every time we do elections, we need to come up with something new which might, of course, help the community. Right. And to start the putting in place the legal framework, that is what I wanted to mention. Having the Constitution in place, already amended, we also had to check and amend related articles in our organic law, especially the organic law related to elections. And we have also the presidential orders. The presidential order which now informs on the dates. Very important, because from the organic law, now we get to know, we get to inform which, depending on the law, there are dates which and the days which should be mentioned in the presidential order, and this is when it was agreed that in relation to the laws, the elections in the diaspora is going to be on 14th, in the country to be on 15th, and of course for the special groups, women, youth, and disabled, to be on 16th. So all these are interlinked. That's why we need to first make sure that the legal framework is in place.
Right.
And immediately we A very important exercise now was to who is going to vote. And if we talk about who is going to vote, we're happy to say that with new technology, we have been able now every year to amend or to update the voter list. And this we work together with the National Identity Institution, the one who are responsible NIDA, responsible with data bank of the people. Every citizens are recorded there. So for us, our systems work together. So every year we bring in the National Electoral Commission those people who are who should be on the voter list.
Yeah.
And this I want to mention 18 years and above. And especially when we now have elections, we have a special activity of now verifying the voter list we have, and we use our volunteers down to the community, down to the mudugudu,
yeah,
where people now check, are they on the list? Are they not on the list? And then they get an opportunity to correct with the support of our volunteers. And I would say now it's one of the milestones, because today we have announced the preliminary list. We have more than 9 million of the preliminary list of the voters. And now we're continuing to receive those who are not on the list, or those who didn't find themselves proper names on the list, and other factors. And we are going to do this exercise up to 29th.
Yeah.
That is when we are going to announce the final voter list. So that is one of the milestones, and a very important one, because as I mentioned, without voters there's no elections. And it is a right of every citizen to vote. So we have the mandate to make sure that they are on this list. And the second thing, of course, is goes with electoral materials. Electoral materials are very important. You know, we have ballot papers, we have boxes where these papers are put. We have to prepare the sites. And I want to say that we want to thank the government, because in Rwanda, with our history, we used to have support from, used to call them donors or partners. But unfortunately, there was a time where we had a challenge, and because of different factors, they said, we don't want to support. And Rwandans said, you know what? I think we need to go back to our traditions, and where Rwandans can do their things. They can sit down and do their things by themselves, within their limits, of course. And I remember very well that by that time I was still young, and I was in the National Women Council, and people were sitting and say, you know what are the needs? So women would come out with their vitenge, others would come out with young people would come out with, they'll say that we can even have these boxes by ourselves using our own materials in the country. Others will say we can contribute some money and see how we can prepare our sites. So from then it became like like a culture, but we were learning also from our own culture, that kwigira, we call it in Kinyarwanda, that you can, is a self-reliance, that you can do your things. So we are happy to say that today, after that experience, Rwanda decided to be giving the budget to the National Electoral Commission 100%.
100%?
Yes. And now I would say that all the electoral materials are in place. We are just waiting for the time to start distributing it to the sites. We're going to be having more than 2,440 sites, electoral sites, all over the country. And in those sites, we'll be having rooms, what you call polling rooms, around 17,400. This time, a new thing is that we increased the number of sites and the number of rooms, polling rooms, to give, as we are going to be having 2 elections at the same time, we had to strategize, making sure that we are not going to have a queue from morning to evening, people, you know, voting. And we need to take care of elder people, you need to take care of even other activities should go on, business and other factors. So we managed to identify that number, and we are sure that it is going to help us, because we are are estimating around 500 to 600. If it goes beyond, it will be 700 per polling room. So that would help to make these elections quick, so that people can be able to vote. And quickly, maybe I wanted to mention on other important ballot papers. We already have started, as we received the candidates, and we have already announced the final list of the candidates accepted to go for campaign. So we are using, of course, that list to prepare ballot papers. And of course, as we'll be counting on the same day, so we need to finish early so that we get time. You know, in Rwanda, it has been now a practice that at least that night, the first results are being announced, the preliminary results. And even on the counting, I wanted to mention that we're going to start, on the announcement, we're going to start announcing counting the presidential and then the parliamentary. So in the room, I think I was trying to explain how fast it will be. We're going to be having 2 booths. So one for the president, another one for the members of parliament, and 2 boxes with the different colors. The one with the white with the white lid is going to be used for electing the president. The papers are going to be put there. And the one with the black lid, some people were asking us, why black? And we, of course, it's because since 2008, we have tried to make sure that we have a stock where we keep those materials which are not used. So we have boxes which we have been using for other elections, which we are going to. But because we now merged the elections, we had to buy another one for the president. Right. So we'll be having 2 boxes, different, and 2 papers, ballot papers for the president and for the members of parliament with the different colors, the white for the president and one with khaki for the members of parliament, to ease this process and make sure that the process is going to be smooth. I would say that another important milestone is voter education. Voter education is very important. We started it very early. And we have been meeting different groups, women, youth, civil society, faith-based organization, media, forum of political parties, very important forum to make sure that we are on the same table, on the same page, making sure that they understand, and we hear from them what are the challenges, and we use it to, of course, to make sure that the process is inclusive. They are part and parcel of us. So I would say that voter education is continuous. We are going to continue doing it up to the time of election, because people should understand every time where we are, what are the challenges, how it can be overcome. Another milestone I would say is that now we have the candidates. We went through this process of receiving their documents, scrutinizing them, announcing, of course, having time to discuss with them. Some of them who would want to understand why maybe they are not on the preliminary list. So we got that time to discuss with them and explain to them why. So we are happy that today we have now candidates who are ready to go for the campaign. Right. And now we are moving towards the campaign. We are working closely with stakeholders who are going to help us, especially the transporting all these materials. We have been having discussions with them, and I would say that we are happy that so far so good.
So far so good. Thank you for that journey from the onset to where we are today. A few things about the electoral process in Rwanda that makes it stand out across the region. And when I say across the region, is we all know, because it's public information on what happens in other countries that neighbor Rwanda. One of the things is anybody visiting the country today, especially if they're coming from one of the neighboring countries, they would not believe that there's an election in less than a month because of how elections are polarized, hyped in that kind of a sense. So I need you to just maybe take some time and talk to us a bit about that one area. Then number two is on the area of voter registration. I am aware that the latest voter registration netted close to 2 million new voters, when in other countries we are seeing a majority shying away from being part and parcel of the electoral process, because either they've lost faith and trust in the process. Some even want to do what we call voter apathy. What is it that it is about the Rwandan electoral process that makes it go this direction while others take another different route?
Thank you so much, Anangwe. Maybe this, let's go back to the history and the country itself and its background. I think we experienced a lot of challenges, especially in governance, and which led to genocide against Tutsi in 1994. And I think we know the expense of not having peace. We as Rwandans, we have gone through that. It's not something difficult to explain, because everyone still has the aftermath of genocide of 1994 against Tutsi. Even the young ones, I think if you follow the Kwibuka and commemoration of genocide against Tutsi, you see even the young generation being affected, and you wonder why. But I think this is all about the bad package we had, which led us into that situation. And the decision which was made by either politicians and Rwandans themselves after 1994 genocide, and especially after liberation of this country, was, what do we want? What do we want as Rwandans? Where do we want to go? What are the good things we can learn from others, and what are those we don't want to learn, so that it should not take us back to where we came from. And I believe that is where all this comes from. And elections in Rwanda is taken as something to bring a new positive change in leadership, in governance, in democracy, in development, of course, of the country, in the minds of everyone, understanding that I want to move a step forward. I don't want to go where I came from. And as you mentioned, in many of our African countries, unfortunately, with the influence, I would say, with those whom I don't want to mention here, but with with the democracy and the definition of democracy, which is fighting your brother, fighting your sister, destroying what you have built for many years as a country, as citizens. You see, as you said, in many countries, people are burning tires, people are fighting, people are killing each other. You find in one family, because you don't belong from the same political party, then you fight your wife, you fight your children, you kill them. And this happened in Rwanda. So it happened in Rwanda not because of elections. It happened in Rwanda because of bad governance, including, of course, elections. That is where they got their leaders. But these lessons we learned is giving us a baseline, is giving us do not do. Because if you do, then you're going back there. So in the civic education, because in elections we have post-election, during election, and before elections periods. So in this period before elections, we try with our stakeholders to continue educate our citizens to know the importance of having peaceful elections. And why not having peaceful elections, then even the leaders we are going to get, they are not going to help us move another step forward.
Right.
So I think this is something we are happy that Rwanda are very much focused on where they want to go, but also not forgetting the bad history we had, which culminated to genocide of 1994 against Tutsi. So I think the situation you are seeing, some would say that it's not, there's no vibe, as young people say, but for us, the vibe with people killing each other is not a good vibe. Right. So the best way is to, of course, we are doing our best. The campaign is starting soon. It will be everywhere. It will be, people will be enjoying, listening to different campaign candidates. And I think that is very good. But being good does not mean sacrificing for the country to go in the state of insecurity. Right. So we're trying to make sure that not only us, but also government institutions responsible are continuing to educate citizens that yes, it is a time for election, but let us do it peacefully.
Right. How do you explain the trends in the new, increase in the voter registration, while other countries, it is people are shying away from even being part of the electoral processes?
Yeah, I think one of the factor is that since the elections in 2018, today, it's a period where we have young people who have not, by then were not eligible to vote because of their age, but now it's the first time now they are on the right age of 18 to vote. So we have that big number, and one thing we have seen is that they are also so happy to do, as you say, the others they don't care, but we have seen that now that big part of our young people are happy to go for election. Yeah. And I think this goes with the leadership, goes with someone saying, you know what, I want to be part and parcel of the one who will be saying that I was also my vote contributed to the leader I want. So I think the past experience of the leadership and the achievements so far, people want to be part of it. And I think that's why they want also to be part of elections and make sure that they have the right candidate when they go for the voting.
Right. Before I let you go, distractors or those who criticize Rwanda have not had kind words for the institution you lead, the Electoral Commission, and even the entire electoral process. They've said words such as sham elections. We know what's going to happen in the end, so this is just either a formality of sorts. We've also had in the last election, heads of diplomatic corps would be able to even criticize the process of picking the eligible candidates, and they came out to criticize that particular process. In this election that we are going for in July, what message do you have for the international community? What message do you have for those who have those words that are not so kind for the institution you lead? Yeah,
thank you. I will say first of all that especially for the diplomatic group COP here, we also, it's a group we meet during the process of elections to update them on what we are planning to do. Actually, we meet them before when we are in a process of preparation of different kinds of activities for elections. So we met, especially the ambassadors who are here in Rwanda through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and we discussed. And we have been receiving also different visitors from different countries and international organizations, Commonwealth and other places. And we continue, of course, to talk to them and explain to them what we do, because it is a transparent exercise. Starting from the legal framework, as I said, and the process we go through, there's nothing which we hide from either public or from particularly those who are aspiring to be candidates. But of course, as you said, the expectations from these some people would want us to do as they want. And I don't think that is right, because it is also not happening in any other country all over the world, is what Rwanda wants. And what Rwanda wants starts from the Constitution, and of course we as the National Electoral Commission, we don't do it as we want as the National Electoral Commission. We do as Rwandans decided, through the Constitution, through the electoral law, through the guidelines. All these are approved through the Parliament, and Rwandans get an opportunity to contribute to it, including those who are aspiring. So I would say that the message I would give to them is that National Electoral Commission is independent, and we follow, we do our best to give equal opportunity to each and everyone, and especially for those who are aspiring to be candidates, we get enough time to talk to them, either through their representative or by themselves, those who would wish to come to us and have an understanding of the process, either challenge it or give advice. So this is the process which you have gone through. And as you followed, I think after announcing the preliminary results, we gave like a week of whoever wants to have more explanations or to explain to us, maybe this, I brought this document, maybe we had that opportunity. So whoever wanted, and we received them. And if there is any mistake, either from their side or from our side, we would come to an agreement that is the right decision which has been made. So the message I would wanted to give to them is that Rwanda, and through the National Electoral Commission, we are going to be fair. We are going to give opportunity to each and everyone. And for those who have fulfilled the requirements are given an opportunity. But for those who didn't fulfill the requirements, then it was fair for us to announce it as it was announced, because we follow rules, we follow regulations, and they know what they were supposed to fulfill in order to be aspirants, in order to be candidates in these positions. But of course, we encourage them to continue anytime they feel there is any post they want to vie for. They are most welcome, and we are going to continue being fair and transparent throughout the process of election.
Right.
Thank you.
You talked to us about from the beginning up to now that we are going ahead of the campaign period. Please take us through the journey of now what happens next. The campaign period begins. Take us up to the time when the president-elect takes the oath of office. What happens up to that particular point?
Yeah, thank you so much. From Saturday, 22nd June 2024, the campaigns are kicking off, and we have received actually from all eligible candidates their program for campaign. And by the law and guidelines of the National Electoral Commission, they inform us, but of course they give a copy to the districts, make sure that they help them in the identifying where the campaign is going to be conducted. So it's a very important period, but we also continue to encourage them and to inform them on the do's and don'ts, because there are areas where they are allowed to do campaign, and the areas they are not allowed to do the campaign.
Like church.
Everyone,
you say
like
church, they cannot campaign in church.
Yes, in church. And why? It's all the places where the other activities. You know, we need to give also a freedom of being to those who are not in the campaign. For example, people went to church, they want to go and pray. So if you bring campaign while others are praying, then it's not fair for those who are not part of the campaign. In schools, for example, we have a school where children are, continuing with their studies, and we bring campaign in the school where children are, busy maybe doing their exams. So the National Electoral Commission have been trying to see those areas where we cannot conflict with other activities.
What if schools are closed?
If they are closed, in the guidelines, it's mentioned only schools, but we are flexible. If, for example, the infrastructures are not enough for the campaigns, the candidates can inform us, and we work with the districts and see if this is something we can be flexible on that, so long as it doesn't affect other people in their daily activities. So we also mention areas like of course, said church, schools, and markets. People are busy in the market, and then you bring campaign in it, then sometimes it will disturb other activities there. So, but it is something which we discuss with them, because they provide their program, and we work with the districts and the members, the candidates themselves. So there is a room of negotiation and seeing actually what the National Electoral Commission wants is get an opportunity to, and a place where you can do your campaign, but of course
without affecting
others. So we'll be having this campaign up to 13th of this month, and of course there is one day before the campaign, and on 13th everything should be
13th of July.
July. Yes. So one day, so that people can now be prepared for the day. Because the campaign is the voting is starting on 14th. So we'll be having elections in the diaspora on 14th, and 15th for the 53 members of, for the president, and the 53 members of cabinet. Parliament yes, are going to be elected on 15th and 14th. And on 16th, we are going to be having special groups, women, youth, and disabled. So for them, they have a special, those who are going to elect them, it's not all the citizens. They have those electoral
colleges,
right. Which they elected them. So I think those, and we are going to, the preliminary announcement is going to be not beyond 20th of July 2023, and the final results for the president and the members of parliament is not going to go beyond 27th of July.
Right, yeah. And then inauguration process take their stage.
Place. Yeah.
Interesting. It's going to be your first, activity in the office that you hold, and not a small one, like you said, yeah. with its new twists and turns. If I may ask you, what's your biggest challenge today, and what's the happiest moment that you have, serving in this capacity for this particular role that you have right now?
Let me start with the last one. It was very more interesting. Maybe the one is I would say that I'm happy because it's an opportunity I got to serve in this important institution, especially as the first woman who has ever chaired this commission. I'm so happy that our country has a trust in women and empowerment for women. And of course, I have a team, as you started saying. We have a good team We have people who have been in this office for quite some time. We have staff at the grassroots level, the district, the province, the district, and of course the very important people who give me confidence and saying that this is going to happen are the whom we call volunteers. The volunteers, we have volunteers who helps the National Electoral Commission in all this process. And the good thing is that they are volunteers and they do it out of their patriotism, out of the need to help the country. So I think this is a very, very good thing. So I'm happy that I'm chairing this commission. The first time we are merging the elections. I know in other countries they also do the same day, including even the district and the local government, the senators, all those. But for us in Rwanda, the good thing is that we work as a team. As we always say that we are independent, but of course we work with others to make sure that everything is successful. So I'm happy to be here at this particular moment, and I hope that we are doing our best in partnership with others to make sure that the institution gives a service, the quality service to those who who are aspiring for these posts, and will continue to do so. Of course, making sure that we follow the laws, the guidelines, and making sure that we give equal opportunity to each and everyone. Of course, challenges are there, including of course the merging of these two elections. We need to be smart in organizing, in making sure that everything is done at the right time.
Right. Very
important. Another thing is we are in the era of technology. Whatever you say, the way it is
perceived.
Yes. Sometimes it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge which helps us to learn on how best we improve in our communication and make sure that we give right information at the right time and to the right people. So those, as the technology is moving very fast and the communication moves very fast with the social media and all those things, needs also the institution to be at par with that speed. It's not easy, it's challenging, but we are coping. We are coping, and that's why the media fraternity, we are working closely with them for them to understand it, because if they understand, they help us to disseminate this information easily. But if you don't work with them closely with the media, then they might explain whatever they want, and you won't say they did anything bad because you didn't give them enough information. So giving correct information at the right time to the right people is a challenge, but a good one,
right,
where we're trying to move with others and try to make sure that we move quickly with others. But of course, we are in a country where I would say people inside and outside are closely following on whatever is done in the country, either positively or negatively.
Right.
So we need to balance both. Those who are following it positively, to continue being with them, but even those who have any other negative, we need to educate them, because we believe that in educating them, in being transparent, it also helps others to change and understand the choice Rwandans have made. In that choice, they might also be, change and understand. So it's that we are using this opportunity to be transparent, so that people, even those who think we are not doing it right, would now understand because we are transparent. So we want to go with everyone. But those who are not ready, then hopefully one day they will understand.
Right.
Yeah.
If in the history books, when they write in the papers of history, what would you want to be on the page of the legacy of the order-led NEC what would you like to be written in that page?
Equal opportunity, transparent and fair to each and everyone.
Wonderful. That's all the time we had for this conversation. Thank you for being gracious and honoring us with your time. I know it's a busy moment, but thank you so much once more.
Thank you, Eugene.
Asante sana. Thank you also for being a part of this particular conversation. The conversation stops in these four walls, but it continues across our social media platforms. Please get in touch with us at EAMG TV. We're happy to read your feedback as we keep tabs on this very historic election right in this amazing country, Rwanda. We'll see you again next time. Same place. As always, my name is Eugene Adnangwe. Goodbye for now.